Hello everyone, I'm Mike DeAngelo with That's Entertainment, and this is your video review of Gears of War 2 by Epic Games. When Microsoft decided it was ready to compete in the console world, it had a lot of momentum to make up for. Luckily, it brought the big guns out early with its Halo franchise. Then, in 2006, Epic Games released Gears of War for the successor system, the 360. Gears of War 2, released 2 years later, has improved on some things, but for the most part, it seems that the Gears have been overshadowed by Halo. Are many of Microsoft's consumers overlooking a great game, or is Gears of War 2 tucked away in the darkness?
At least we got reinforcements.
Yeah, but for how much?
To their imminent doom. Unaware that
Gears of War 2 opened 6 months after the events of the original game. The Locust Army grows strong yet again, and a terrible disease has infected mankind, leading to more danger than ever. The Human Defenders, led by the Coalition of Ordered Governments, or COG, has planned a counteroffensive, which should save the last human refuge, the city of Jacinto. You play once again as Marcus Phoenix. To take the battle to the Locust, Phoenix and the rest of Delta Squad will have to infiltrate the enemy's home, the Hollow. Along the way, you'll fight hordes of Locust forces as well as humans who have suffered from emulsion poisoning. The game keeps stacking up extensive story elements, with a good pace and mix of story and action, forcing you to want to keep playing through.
They're getting bolder. Those gears were guarding Pomeroy.
Gears of War 2 captures the gritty feel of war rather well. The way your characters move and interact really seems the way that this situation would play out in real life. The game mixes up a lot of different ideas and enemies to keep scenarios feeling fresh. The game's main emphasis is its use of cover mechanics, and it, combined with the road you run, which takes you from point A to point B, works and looks really cool. Special events are interesting to take part in, whether it's shooting mortar shells at approaching enemies or shooting the pilot of an enemy vehicle. While the game builds up fairly well, however, people may be disappointed in the way the end fizzles out. Most likely, by that point, however, you'll have built up enough enjoyment to condone it.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Delta.
Unless we end this war. Now.
Visually, Gears of War 2 is top of the line. Though it's really only a collection of a few colors until further into the game, those colors have spectrums of their own. The developer shaped the style well, thanks to the way the buildings and vehicles look and move. As said before, Epic Games feels like they really knew what they were doing this time around with the story, and the acting of the characters, both in physical representation and in voice and dialogue, really helped to push the plot forward. The sound and the music aren't spectacular. Nothing is really going to stick with you unless you really like the sound of the Lancer's chainsaw. Other than that, though, Gears of War 2 hits hard with its presentation. Gears of War 2 has so many options and so many different choices to make within the game, you could play it for weeks and not notice the game growing old. The multiplayer aspect of the game could be hit or miss depending on who is playing. The main draw of the campaign, the cover system, is awkwardly placed in the multiplayer, and though it's certainly not the focus, it hardly seems pertinent at all. Some of the modes can be fun though, and there is a lot of variety. Cooperatively, Gears of War 2 is a hit. Whether you're tackling the campaign with a friend or teaming up with a group in Horde mode, you'll get your fill of shared carnage.
A time of peace that we have never known.
Master Chief had the advantage of coming to the table early, but Marcus Phoenix plays his cards just as well. Though the Halo franchise has been around for an entire gaming generation before Gears of War was probably even a concept, Epic Games has flexed their creative might and made a game worth playing. Though the competitive multiplayer leaves some room for want, and the campaign feels like it had the emergency brake pulled right at its climax, Gears of War 2 proves that its franchise is just as viable as the more popular brand on Microsoft's console. If the next entry in the series keeps with the upward trend, it'll certainly give Halo a run for its money. That's Entertainment awards Gears of War 2 a score of 9 out of 10.